And Mark Strassmann joins us now from Houston. So, Mark, what is the latest on the ground today?
A lot of need, Vlad, and not enough resources to go around. Search and rescue is still the top priority, especially in life-threatening situations. 911 calls come in, they have to prioritize. Again, people who are in danger of losing their lives get top priority. Now that it's daylight, they'll respond to all calls, but clearly the issue is getting people out of harm's way. Second issue is, what do you do with these folks? Many of them need shelter. That's the Houston's Convention Center behind me. It was capacity originally was pegged at 5,000. They have more than 9,000 people in there now. They don't have enough cots to go around. More people are showing up. FEMA estimates 30,000 people could need shelter in the next couple of days. They've got to find a place to put these people, and then they also have to find a way to continue to feed and water these people, just because, remember, with all the roads, 250 highways or so in Texas that are at least partially closed, getting supplies from point A to point B can be a significant challenge. You've got to get these people to safety, you've got to get them a place to stay, and then you've got to keep them fed. And all of that is a daunting challenge for an area in the grips of a major crisis.
So, looking at that convention center, 9,000 people, it's well beyond capacity. We know more people are coming. What is the plan? Clearly, these people can't stay here for weeks on end. Is there a plan to move them maybe further out to safer areas?
Emery, that's a really good question. I mean, Dallas has opened a center for 5,000 folks, but people have to get from here to there. Again, not the easiest road trip to make at this point. I asked a Red Cross leader in there last night, so how long do you imagine people being here? He said, we don't know. I said, could it be weeks? Could it be months? And he said, frankly, I think it could be.
Wow.
But then they also, again, they have to find a place for all these, the 20,000 other people. They're looking for other spots, but let's face it, there aren't that many places that are this big where they could concentrate folks. And the longer this goes on, of course, conditions in there probably not going to be great. People are going to be tired, grimy, in some cases hungry, cranky, worried. I mean, none of that is conducive to 9,000 plus people living under one roof for an extended period of time.
Yeah, Mark, we were just thinking about just the bathrooms, that the facility was not set up to accommodate that many people. We all recall Katrina, and eventually what ended up happening is residents from New Orleans ended up sort of landing all over the place in Philadelphia, New York, and San Antonio, and we know that the recovery is not going to take months, it's going to take years, so we may very well see something like that.
Absolutely.
And nobody wants Superdome 2.0 here. Nobody.
Right.
And I'm not suggesting that's the case here. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I am suggesting is that they have to keep order, and they have to keep people happy here, happy as they can be, given the uncertainty that many of these people now face. Is my home okay? Will I ever get back to it again? How do I rebuild my life? Especially if I didn't have much to begin with, and a lot of these people did not have much to begin with. All of this is a significant challenge. And again, the lessons of Katrina have been studied carefully since that event, and nobody here wants a repeat of that, especially in a mass crowding situation like this.
It's unfortunate we even have to talk about something like this in a period where we've been talking over the last couple of days of Houstonians and others coming together to help their fellow neighbors. But you mentioned crime has also been a focus for city officials in Houston. What more can you tell us about that? And the good news is, according to all the police officers we've spoken to here on the air, they say that in addition to doing all the rescues, they're on the lookout for anybody who is going to seek to exploit the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, on top of search and rescue, there's the issue of law and order. You got to keep a lid on things. In these disasters, as we all know, there are people who take advantage. In nearby Fort Bend County, they have reports of looters who are convincing residents that they are emergency officials, convincing them to evacuate, and then they go inside the house and steal what they can. Here in Houston, police have arrested at least 7 people, 3 of them for looting, 4 of them for hijacking vehicles in flood zones at gunpoint. And so those kind of challenges, on top of everything else, is what these folks face who are leading this rescue effort and emergency response. Significant, daunting, multifaceted, and again, it's going to go on for days.
It is heartening to see that this situation has actually brought out the best in many, many, many people. But of course, there are some people who will take advantage of the chaos, and it will bring out the worst in them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the big picture here really is the positive, not the negative. That is the response, neighbor helping neighbor, the Good Samaritan approach, not waiting for help, but trying to help yourself and help the guy who lives next to you or door to you or down the street. That has been the overwhelming response here, and truly admirable. Yes, there have been the negatives, but the positives here, in terms of the human response, one person reaching out to another, that has also been the most striking aspect of this.
Yeah, definitely. Mark Strassmann in Houston, thanks a lot, Mark.